Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Bob Arum. Bob Arum, once again, is adamant on his opinion about Anthony Joshua. He states that Anthony Joshua should never go back into the ring with Andy Ruiz. He says the style is all wrong for Anthony Joshua. It would have been different if he did get a lucky punch in, but he knocked him down 4 different times. That wasn't a lucky punch. That was a bad mix-up in styles. The matching of Andy Ruiz and Joshua will always be the same. He says even if he can beat Andy Ruiz, he will never be the same because people will already know that he is chinny or he is a person that they can walk straight through. Their confidence will be a lot more bigger when getting in the ring with him. He compared him to Mike Tyson when he was beat by Buster Douglas. Mike Tyson's opponents before Buster Douglas were shaken. They were mentally already scared and intimidated before the fight even started. Therefore, they would lose out of fear, and out of self-confidence. Now that Anthony Joshua has been beat, a lot of fighters won't respect him now. They think, hey, they're going to go right at him because they know once they land that money shot, a temple shot or whatever, that shot to the dome where Ruiz delivered, they know he'll go right out. So if they can figure him out like that, he will never be the same. So he shouldn't get back in there with Ruiz. He had other examples of other fighters doing the same things. I think he mentioned Donald Curry, and he was beaten by another guy that the style was all wrong for him, and he was never the same after that. I think about Fernando Vargas, but Fernando Vargas had one hell of a fight with Felix Trinidad, you know what I mean? And even though he wasn't the same fighter after that fight, he gave one hell of a run. But the reason I'm comparing Joshua to Vargas is because if you guys can remember, Vargas was like 20-0 with 18 KOs. He was 17-0 and 17 KOs until I think he went up against Ike Corte, in which, he went 12 rounds with Ike Corte and had a real tough, close fight with him. Or Winky Wright. I think it was Winky Wright was the 18th, and then Ike Corte was the 19th. And then, of course, Felix Trinidad was the 20th. So the guy was being pushed along really quickly. And, I did a video about, pushing a fighter too quickly before it's time or whatnot. But anyway, Bob Arum said that a boxing guy would know not to put him in there with Andy Ruiz once again. But, of course, they're trying to push him because, again, there's a lot of things riding on Matchroom. And if Eddie Hearn was a boxing guy, he would know that. Wow. Let me counterpunch this. My thoughts on Bob Arum's statements. He's not alone. George Foreman thinks that a lot of fighters, Sugar Ray Leonard thinks that. A lot of fighters think that, no, this is all wrong for him. He should not go back in there. And I always wondered why Buster Douglas didn't fight Mike Tyson again, because by the time that rematch was coming back to fruition, Buster Douglas was already knocked out by Evander Holyfield. And speaking of Holyfield, Bob Arum used that as an example. Because, he said when Tyson was knocked out by Buster Douglas, guys like Evander Holyfield didn't fear him anymore. Well, let me counterpunch that real quick. Evander Holyfield never feared Mike Tyson at all. He never feared Mike Tyson. In fact, that was going to be one of the fights that was going to happen. Okay? Tommy Morrison, he was another guy that didn't fear Mike Tyson. Tommy Morrison just got knocked out before Mike Tyson could fight him. Okay? He got knocked out by Ray Mercer. Or Razor Ruddock, one of the two. But anyhow, so I don't think it was really fear, but he did say the aura of invincibility is gone for Joshua, and to me, I feel that this could be a good thing or a bad thing for Joshua. A lot of people might think it's a bad thing. A lot of people think that he should maybe take it easy. I have no objections of that. No objections whatsoever for people to, so he can just coast. But, I think we should let him redeem himself. But what I've learned in the last week, I've learned that a fighter doesn't make excuses for himself. He went in there, he got beat. They stopped him in 7 rounds. He went down multiple times. If there was no foul play, mind you, Bob Arum is right. Bob Arum, you shouldn't put him in there with Andy Ruiz, because the same things are going to happen. If you look at that fight, because in 6 months, what can Anthony Joshua do that he hasn't done? Because the scary part about it is he's saying nothing was wrong. He's saying, oh, I had a great sparring, a great training camp. The only thing that I will give this fight is he underestimated Andy Ruiz. If nothing else was wrong, guys, see, let's throw out everything that they're denying. It's true. Nothing was wrong. He overestimated him, giving him his belts and letting him hold the belts and all that. I think Floyd did that one time to Canelo, and Canelo wouldn't take it. He's like, take the belt. He's like, no. You know what I mean? But, Anthony Joshua was too lean. I think he was too laid back with Andy Ruiz, because this is his opponent at the end of the day. You knew he wouldn't have done that shit with Miller. Here, Miller, take the belt, man. Take the belt. No, he wouldn't have done that with Miller. I think he thought that Andy Ruiz was an easy touch. He thought, well, as soon as I, hit him in the right area, I'm going to get him out of there. You can even tell the way he went at Andy Ruiz, he didn't respect his punching power when, he thought, well, if he does hit me, I can take it. I'm good. That's why I was asking, why do I feel this way? Because the guy hit you with a shot that you didn't see. You weren't prepared for. Then he hit you in a perfect spot. Pressure point. Hit you in a pressure point. Made you, somebody can hit you behind the head and make your knees buckle. They'll give, right? That's just one of those things about the human body. Pressure points. And he hit him in a pressure point. Hit him up right upside the dome. Boom. Temple. That will disembobulate you. So that what I believe that happened to him, on top of, not respecting his punching power, taking the guy lightly, underestimating the guy. Those things happen in the ring. But Bob Arum, he's blasting Eddie Hearn, telling him he's not a boxing guy. He would know that. So if it was Bob Arum wouldn't put him back in there. But we just have to see, to wrap this up, what happens in the rematch. Can he redeem himself? Is it too early? But of course, if you ask me, lose that muscle mass. Because even in the Klitschko fight, he admitted that he was top heavy. You know what I mean? Too top heavy, he called it. And should really focus on that, But it's the exercises you use also. You don't need weights and squats and stuff like that. It's about lifting your own body weight, not weights. You know what I'm saying? Like calisthenics would be better. A full like Herschel Walker exercise like that for Anthony Joshua would be a lot better. Maybe he might want to try some Bruce Lee methods. He didn't use free weights at all. He relied on his body strength to do certain exercises. And I think a calisthenics like that would make you a lot better in the ring. It's besides heavyweights. Anyway, just lose the muscle mass. But you guys tell me what you feel about Bob Arum's statements. Should he go back in there with Ruiz? Should he take the immediate rematch? Of course, comment, like, share, subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.